Hello, I'm Murray Mandryk, political columnist for the Regina Leader Post, and this is my colleague Dave Fraser, political reporter. And we are in the historic bowels of the Saskatchewan legislature where things are about to change. Where we are, this is the government entrance, and that's the caucus lounge that goes right into where new Premier designate Scott Moe will enter for the first time in about a month when the session starts for a new legislative sitting and a whole new Premier. But that's not the only change that's going to be going on. There's a lot of them coming about. It's quiet around right now, but with a new Premier comes a lot of new administrative changes and other things. Dave, what have you been hearing?
We're expecting to learn more throughout the week, but right now we're at least hearing that there's sounds like it'd be a fairly significant shakeup within the Premier's office. As we know, over the course of the leadership campaign, there was quite a bit of animosity expressed towards Executive Council and certain staff members in the Premier's office, particularly over whether or not Executive Council played a role in potentially leaking debate questions to one of the candidates, Elena Cook, who we now know wasn't victorious. That's all resulted in a lot of chatter as to will some of those people be gone, and it sounds like at least some of them will be.
That's a big deal, isn't it? Because it speaks volumes. It might not seem like a big deal to people in Saskatchewan who don't necessarily want to hear about inside baseball stuff, but in terms of how this new government functions under Scott Moe, who they are, who's advising them, it really quickly becomes a big deal. And what you may be losing is people that have been in the Saskatchewan Party government, along with Brad Wall, advising Brad Wall for 10 years now. It's a question of how you replace that experience. What do you do next? What do you think of Elena Cook? She was the deputy minister to the Premier. That's going to be the first big change.
That's the first big change, and hopefully we'll know within the coming days here whether or not she's going to return to her role as head of the civil service. Probably not, just given the animosity that was created in the race. But as you point out there, the corporate memory of the premiership in the last decade, if they lose that, there's a lot of young people who worked on Scott Moe's campaign who have only been actively involved in Saskatchewan politics in the last 10 years and may not really know what it's like to be in opposition or the effort that it took to get the Saskatchewan Party over the hump from the 2003 election to in government in 2007. And how much of an impact that has going forward under Scott Moe's premiership will be something interesting to see.
On the other side, it could be a good reboot.
Right.
You have people that have been in for too long. They have been too guarded in terms of whatever government secrets or the way things get done in government.
Even dealing with media requests.
Even dealing with media requests. Sometimes a fresh start is a good thing. They've had incredibly talented people working in Wall's office. I don't think there's any denying that. Among the best in this country.
Right.
So that's going to be a big adjustment. But even among the best in this country, 10 years life in the same job in this government is a big thing.
Yeah. And presumably that's the balance that Scott Moe and the people around him are trying to strike right now.
Absolutely. So big changes ahead.
Yes.
Thanks very much, folks.